All right, we're back. Now we're going to be talking about direct labor variances. And so if you understood the direct material variances, this is going to be easy peasy. All right, the reason being is it's the same calculation. Because if you remember, I said this earlier, direct materials and direct labor are both variable costs. Right? And variable costs, they act the same way. Right? The only thing that's really different, all right, when we talk about direct labor variances versus the direct material variances are the names, right? If you remember under the direct labor, we had the price and quantity variance, right? Well, when it comes to labor, we're going to have the rate, okay, and the time variances. They mean the same thing. They're both price and efficiencies, right? And the calculations, as you will see, are going to be the same thing. So in moving forward, the numbers that we want to basically pick up are here. Okay. We have the $10 actual rate, okay, and the actual time. Okay. And so we had $10 okay, per unit, right, or per hour in this case. And we had the 3,850, which was the actual time that our employees worked doing what? Producing 5,000 pairs of jeans. Again, this is the output, this is the input, all right? And so output okay, and input. And so, all right, here were the standards. We had these standards from before, 9 and 4,000. So can you identify right now, all right, are we going to have a favorable rate variance or an unfavorable rate variance? We thought it was going to be $9. It turned out to be 10. Yeah, that's unfavorable, isn't it? Okay. Well, what about the hours or the time? Okay. We had 4,000, okay, we budgeted 4,000 hours to make 5,000 pairs of jeans, but it only took us 3,850. Yeah, that's favorable, isn't it? But did it pay off? Okay. The answer is it did not pay off. If you remember, okay, this was an unfavorable variance. Okay. This unfavorable is saying, hey, we lost money, okay, from what we thought. Okay, we thought to make that 5,000 pairs of jeans, as far as the direct labor, it was going to cost us $36,000. In reality, it actually cost us $38,500. So again, okay, I like this 3-column method, right? And really, what we're doing is we're comparing our actual price times the actual quantity. Right? When we're comparing that to the budgeted or the standard price times the standard quantity. Okay. And so the overall difference of this really is the direct labor cost variance. Okay. And if you remember, we knew that that was unfavorable. It was unfavorable by, was it 2,500, I think? And so what we're going to do is we're going to break this down into a time variance and a, I'm sorry, I had this backwards. This is a rate and a time. And so let's go ahead and drop in our numbers. All right, again, remember we're creating 5,000 pairs of jeans. And so when we look at our standards, okay, we say, hey, we had a standard cost of $9, right, per hour. Okay, and we had 80% of an hour, and so this is 0.8, right, times 5,000, okay, and that comes out to be 4,000. So if we took our standards, okay, we took 4,000 hours at $9 per hour. This came out to be the 3,600. Well, they told us, okay, over here that we had, the actual price, right, was $10, and our actual quantity was 3,850, and so we came up with 38,500. And so again, the difference, right, between that number and this number is this 2,500. And so that tells us, hey, we're over budget by 2,500. But why? Why are we over budget? And that again is where the middle column comes into play. What we're going to do, if we're going to compare the price or the rate, we're going to bring our standard, let me put this in the red. We're going to take our standard price, right, from here, and we're going to multiply it times our actual quantity. And so we're going to take the price of 9, the quantity of 3,850, and that gives us it gives us 34,650. And so to find our rate variance, we just look at the difference between these two, right? And so we subtract the 38,500, okay, and that comes out to be a 3,850. And we already identified that this is an unfavorable balance, isn't it? And so again, what happened? Oh, maybe HR, because that's who we talk about by the rates, HR decided, right, maybe on their own, hey, let's hire higher skilled laborers. Okay? Instead of paying them $9, okay, let's hire people that are going to cost us $10. Well, obviously, all right, that rate is higher and it's unfavorable. It's more than we thought. So hopefully, because this skilled labor, okay, is more efficient, maybe we made money. The answer, no. All right, because we're trying to explain this 2,500 unfavorable variance, right? And so let's go and look at the time variance. Again, we thought it was going to take us 4,000 hours to make 5,000 pairs of jeans. It only took us 3,850, right? So this is favorable. But in this case, right, we're going to subtract the 36,000, subtract the 34,650. So the difference between these two here is our time variance, 1,350. So in this case, you know what? It didn't pay off, did it? All right, we hired the higher skilled laborers, okay, but we ended up losing 2,500. We should have stuck with the cheap labor and maybe did what we thought, where we did not have a variance. Another possible rationale for this is the fact that, hey, maybe we gave our our workers a raise, right? Maybe we gave them $1 raise, right? And because of that raise, they were so happy they worked harder. Okay? That would explain this also. Okay? So why I'm walking through possible explanations, we really don't know what happened here. Okay? But the reason that we're walking through possible explanations is because you don't want somebody to pull the wool over your eyes and say, oh yeah, we did this because of this and this and this, if it doesn't make sense. All right, and so we definitely want to be able to understand what these variances are communicating to us. Right? And so again, here is the direct labor variance relationship, and you can see their calculations and how they come up with the numbers. All right. Well, we're going to stop here again and break this one up. Yeah, as I said, a lot, very similar to what we covered last time. In our next section, we're going to be looking at factory overhead. Factory overhead has a little bit more to it. The reason being is that factory overhead consists of both both variable and fixed factory overhead, right? So that's really the big difference between the two.